have been in corporate, I mean, if you like me, that kind of know exactly what are my strengths and skills, you can easily create an account and look for jobs, or there's a name for it, on Upwork or Fiverr. But I mean, there's many opportunities out there. Obviously, as a start, it might, like Show said, it might feel like uphill and a bit difficult. But my advice would be that, just start somewhere. If it's doing something out of your comfort zone, start doing that immediately. And trust me, once you're out of that comfort zone, you're just going to move on, going and going. It's almost like a snowball effect. So I really, really love someone that's not the type that says, no, but that's not my type. No, but I don't want to go into that. It's like, okay, this is an opportunity, let me do it, let me give it a try. And that's my personality. I'm never afraid to take on anything. I will be afraid to shut that as home, because Shawan will be like, are you ready for that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I say yes to this? But the minute I get there, I'm like, serious face, like, this is me, that I'm going to do this. So it's snowball effect. Just get in there and do it.
You actually, I'm just thinking while you're speaking, because this conversation was sparked up by you keeping a
Mm.
freelance gig. How's that going? Maybe tell us a little bit about that, how
Well,
you got yourself into it.
networking, very important. And that's why I love what you mentioned about networking. Networking does help, and putting yourself out there. I mean, we are on different groups, community groups. We are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Okay, I'm not on Twitter, but all the social media platforms that you could possibly find, you're on there, and showcase your work, showcase what you can do and how. And that's basically what I done. And I basically just network, sent out my information, what I can offer people on different groups. And I got a client, and she's like, listen, I need you to set up my um, different socials, obviously work social, LinkedIn, my resume. I need this done. And can you assist me? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. You are my client. I'm going to go all out, above and beyond, because you get so excited. And I love, doing pretty stuff, and me, Show.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and I think by me putting myself out there, and then ever since then, I would just put myself out. I send my information, I get in contact with people, whether it be LinkedIn or on my contact list, or I go through. And in fact, with the easy apply that you mentioned now on LinkedIn, I read something that actually recommended, when you do apply for anything on LinkedIn, instead of doing the easy apply, because
Go
there's
to
a
the direct
gazillion.
message.
Yes,
Yeah.
I actually saw that this past Friday. So that was also something that I've learned and that I would now do going forward. But like I said, it's just really, networking is so important, because by networking, people actually get to see what you're doing. It doesn't help if you sit with that beautiful information, or that information that you can share with people for people to see, or your work that you're sitting with and you're just holding it there for yourself. And there's so many people out there that needs your assistance, that needs the skill that you alone have, or I can have the same skill as you, but trust me, we are going to do it 1,000 times
Yeah.
different. So don't sit with that skill set that you have, or whatever it is that you desire to do. Don't sit with it behind closed doors. Put it out there. Let people know, hey, I can help you with this. I can do this. And just get the ball rolling. Trust me, you're gonna land up in the position where you want to be in life, whether it be being an entrepreneur or actually being in corporate. Because I mean, there are people that's from corporate and they're like, I don't want anything to do with
Yeah.
corporate. And that's actually a conversation that we have to have, because corporate can kill you. Well, not kill you physically, but I mean, they can drain the
Yeah.
last bit out of you. Yes.
Mentally, emotionally. Um, I mean, I don't want to touch on corporate now because that's something I feel like we really need to dive into.
Mm,
But what I will say is, I think the big thing with what you were saying and this freelance work, and what I'm getting from it is, you have to have tenacity. You need to just push forward. Don't
correct.
give up.
Yeah.
And you just have to be consistent. Now, being consistent and not getting a result can be very demotivating. Am I
Hmm.
correct?
Correct.
Right. So I would like us to touch on demotivation, because I think that's why when I was setting up my New Year's resolution, I started writing it. Ramon and
Mm,
I, we went for breakfast. The idea behind that breakfast was to get away from the kids.
Obviously.
and then and then I just thought, you know what, let's just scoop in the the goals we have for our marriage, for our lives, for our income streams, you know,
Hmm.
for our business and everything, and just like how are we going to make it work this year,
Yeah.
2025? What's going to be different this year?
Hmm.
And I think because, you know, we, as I said, where we are right
Hmm.
now, I felt like we have these plans,
Yeah.
but we're really not sure how it's gonna happen. Because these plans don't align with our current reality.
Mm.
you know?
That's true. And I think a lot of people are in that situation. I mean, there's thousands of people. We all have dreams, but sorry to break interject show, but there's just a lot of people that's in the same boat. Like I have all these plans and I'm mapping it out so nicely, but how do I get there?
Yeah. And I think that was my thing. I really wanna know, how do you push through
Rejection.
all, yeah, the rejection, the, like your current reality, you know, like, because I do believe that the Lord gives each one a vision, a dream, and a goal that that only they can see,
Mm.
right? And it normally doesn't mirror their reality. You know, like it's impossible if you
Yeah.
look at it from this point. But what you see in your head, the future you know, who's nay at the end of this year, you know, um, whose show at the end of this year? Is she going to be a freelancer? You
Mhm.
know, um, is she going to be a mom of three? It's not an option, but I'm just saying.
Woo, child.
But who are you going to be throughout this year, and how
Mhm.
are you going to show up for yourself? So I really want to know, how are you going to push through the negativity and show up for yourself?
You know, I'll be honest, it's not always easy to push through the negative. I mean, if you find yourself in a situation, it could be your personal situation, it could be the economy, it could be anything. Sorry. And it's not always easy, but I feel that, like I said, moving with intentionality, reminding yourself why you're doing this, reminding yourself what the end result is going to look like, looking at that list that you've written out, and the whether it's on your prayer board or wherever you guys do that, but really moving with intentionality. That's my number one thing, because you look at it and you're like, you know what, I've had so many rejections, I had so many setbacks, I had all these financial problems coming, this suddenly came up. And I mean, if you're a homeowner, there's always something that breaks. Yeah. So there's just so many things that happen throughout the journey, right? We call it the journey of life. And I do believe with God in everything. I mean, you set yourself apart from, okay, the what if this happened, this person's rejected my proposal, or I applied for this position and it didn't come, nothing happened, or I got a we regret to inform you type of a thing. And it's really just pushing through, because trust me, there are greater and bigger plans that God has for your life. We have a purpose and we are destined for greatness, and that I believe that's like standard in our household. Each and every individual in this household is destined for greatness. I speak it over my family every single day, because that is the number one thing that we need to wire in our brains. Even though I got this rejection, even though I got this no, even though I've been sending and sending proposals nonstop, it's like a never ending story, but I haven't received that yes. But let me tell you, you're going to get that one client that's just going to go above and beyond and give you what you worth, or, you know, and it's going to be the most amazing thing. And that's where networking, they might even say, you know what, I have this colleague of mine, or I have this friend of mine, or I have this business partner of mine. Don't you want to do the same? Don't you? You know, all of these things, everything will just start happening. So I think it's really shown it's not always easy to move through the negativity, because you need to go through that journey. And for me, for one, If I need to cry about it, if I need to let my emotions out, I do so, and I pray about it, and I'm like, okay, now just move on. And you need to constantly remind yourself that the end result, I need to do this. I need to do this. You are destined for greatness. You are bold. You are beautiful. You are enough. Put that affirmations in there, So yeah, that's where we at.
I just had to cheer for you.
I loved
I
it.
had to
Yeah.
cheer for you. Um, you know, I'm asking this because last week, and I think I
Mm,
phoned you about this
yes.
last week. I was just like in like, how much more of this can I take? Like,
Mm,
how much more can I do? Like, do. I feel like I am doing. I am giving. I am
yes.
pouring. But why?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is it not coming? And I feel like that feeling can
Mm,
quickly deteriorate.
mm,
Like everything that you feel, it can make you feel.
yeah.
It can just put you in a mood to give up.
Mm,
You know. And I felt like I listened to a podcast. It was actually the Diary of a CEO,
mm,
and he was actually speaking about this whole dopamine effect. So this is why like it became quite a big subject for me, about being able to not just be in this reward, like it
yes.
must come now, it must come
Yes.
now. Why?
Yes.
I did this. I sent
Yeah.
five times. I sent the proposal. Why is it not here? I sent my CV to 6 companies. Why is it not
Mm,
happening?
mm,
Oh my gosh, I've done this. It's about constantly pushing through, and then I guess that builds character.
true.
It builds character. You know what I
Perseverance.
mean? And I felt so hopeless, and I think my husband saw that, and he was like, "What's wrong with you?" And he was like, you know, like, "Is it us? Is it me?" And it's like, dude, it's not you. It's me. It's all me. Like for me, it's
I
like,
think every woman goes through that. Like you have that moment, and I also sometimes, when we have our conversations, and I always tell you, so I had my moment
yeah.
on Tuesday. I had my moment on Thursday, but it's for me. It's like allow yourself to go through that. Allow
Mm.
yourself. You are only human at the end of the day. Allow yourself to feel what is happening, and allow yourself that emotions go through it, but just remember to stay grounded and be like, you know what, dust yourself off, get back up and move along. Like we literally have to speak to ourselves constantly, like it
But I think
rewire
that's
the
why,
brain.
if we think about that self talk, I'm going to say it
Mm,
again, self talk.
yeah.
If you are kind to yourself, and how you talk to yourself, and how you treat yourself, I feel like that on its own just helps you get through the
Mm,
difficult things or giving up. Like you understand, like, okay, so if I had to give up now, and this was the example the lady gave.
yeah.
She was like, okay, if things are so overwhelming and I can't handle it, and I need to drink maybe to calm myself down, whatever. What if I had to die
Mm,
tomorrow
mm,
or today or later today?
mm,
Is it really gonna, like, what matters? Like, is things really that bad?
mm.
Like, no, it's not as bad as our brains tell us it is,
Yeah, that's the devil.
Yes. And so being, I think, grateful,
Mm,
being proud of who you are, how far you've come, what you've done for yourself, and how you've pulled yourself through. Because remember, I mean, obviously, we can only speak. I mean, yes, I was a girl, I was a girlfriend, and now I'm a wife and I'm a mommy. And so there's new challenges that I face. You know, it's not just going to work and getting done, it's
mm,
now getting done and getting other people done and getting lunch done and still having to make it, you know,
yeah.
in time and still smiling
Yes.
and then getting back and it's cleaning, and all of those things does put a mental meltdown
Yeah.
on you. And so I think, again, self-talk, in my opinion,
Mm.
it's
And
important.
it's also important before we end of this episode, but I think it's also important, like, for example, right? Let me quickly make an example. We do a lot of things to make us feel good. You either get in your car, you listen to music, or whatever it is that you do, right? So I love, dressing up, looking great, feeling, So you take yourself a lipstick from You Do You or any other brand for that matter, right? So I'm a You Do You fan, right? So I use this. Like you guys can see it on my lips, right? And I put on a face for myself. Ek sit 'n bietjie gemerring aan. I keep myself ready, and my husband knows. Even if I'm just gonna go out on a drive, get myself a cup of coffee, a me date, I put my lipstick on and I'm out and about. Hoe rooier, hoe mooier, mense. Sometimes you just really have to do something that will enlighten the mood, get you out of that slumpy mood or feeling because you're feeling drained or you mentally not where you're supposed to be. Do your thing. Get yourself this You Do You, and trust me, it will make a big of a difference.
How do I love that my people can just promote? If y'all want to find out more about the You Do You products, please send a message on the comment section, or you guys can private message us. It depends on what platform this is going to be on.
Mhm.
And just so that I can take your details. I would love B2B sales, which is business to business. But I do sell to individuals, and I encourage people to also
Yeah,
come through, find out how you could sell for yourself to make money for yourself. That's what's up.
that's
And
where
I
we're
guess
at.
with that being said, guys, we are at the end of our talk. Today's talk was a bit powerful, man. En
Yeah,
jy weet, dit was mos nou nie scripted nie. Ons het nou net gepraat, mense. And that's what I love about this podcast. This
yeah.
podcast is about who you are and just,
The raw
authentically. Yes,
realness.
authentically. I just absolutely love everyone who's subscribed to our YouTube channel and who's made comments. For those of you who just go out of your way
Mm.
to share that like and definitely the comments, guys, it works. It helps with the algorithm. So I just want to again thank you guys. And for those of you who are thinking about subscribing, click that button so that you can get an update every time we post a new video.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it up to my favorite girl, Nay, to end off this podcast. I
Are you
love you
ready?
guys so much. Just know that. Let me just give myself a cheer before I go.
Julle, ons is so bad for this year and adios amigos. Guys, it's like the best thing that has ever happened to us. You know, when you get new tech and all of that, it's just amazing. So thanks to Show and her awesome husband for hooking us up. But it is it from us. Adios amigos, like they say. We shall see you soon. Cheers.
Much love.